Got an opportunity to hear your show last night, and in watching you over the years, I mean, you just keep getting better and better and better. And I think what really makes it work for me is that you just talk about life, and that's your approach to comedy. So share with the audience about what you've been doing since the last time you've been in Louisville.
I mean, same thing I always do. I'm on the road doing that, raising my daughter, and she's got an album coming out. She's 24, and just staying, writing, and waiting for the next opportunity. Yeah.
Now, how do you manage to keep it fresh?
I mean, that's easy. I mean, everybody keeps it fresh. If you ain't keeping it fresh, you're dying. I mean, everybody who lives got to keep it fresh every day. So that's no big secret. You just get up every day and do something different.
You know, I was watching your show last night, and you were relating about some of the transition as you were in your 20s and the 30s. You're talking about now being in the 50s,
Yep.
and how comedy's changed, how it's changed you, and share a little bit with the audience about what it's like now being in that 50 category, like we both are.
Well, what changes is, I think it's every 10 years, every decade, from 20 to 30, then 30 to 40, and 50s. 50s are actually, if you had your kids young, this is when your kids are finally old enough to be gone, and you're through dealing with like younger kids. Like my kids are 21, 24. So now you're dealing with a whole new life. I used to get steal from them and do comedy. Now they're going on and doing their own thing. So I'm looking at a whole new life. It's all going to basketball games, going to all that stuff is gone now. So now it's about dealing with being lonely. So now you get 50, you're home, and you're home with your wife. And now you find out if you really like each other. So that's the next phase of life. Do you like each other?
Because you're going to be spending a lot of time with that person. And one thing you were talking about older guys, younger women, and I just thought that was a great piece because that's really a lot of friends that I know, going through those kind of things and, just talking about those things. I was sitting there and said, you're talking about life. You're talking about things that everybody goes through. Some other things that you were talking about is, what you're doing in the future. Got any movies or anything like that planned?
Well, I got a lot of stuff planned. I hope to be producing TV shows and movies. Hope this year to shoot a couple movies, things that I'm writing myself, doing my own thing. There was things I tried to do in the 90s and they just weren't feeling it, they weren't ready for it, but now might be the time. So I always believe there's seasons, and I just kind of feel this is my season to do my thing.
Now, you've got a special that's airing now, correctly, on Comedy Central. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's called Sinbad Where You Been. It's also on DVD right now. DVD, you get about, it's an hour and a half as opposed to 47 minutes, so you get a chance to see all the stuff. You're playing music. I'm back into music again, playing drums, playing guitar, trying to go back that route. I think at 50, you just go back, stuff you dropped, you go back and pick up and say, let me try it again, man. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just trying new stuff and grabbing some old stuff that I let go.
Now, if you had your choice, if you could only do one thing, would you do stand-up, would you do movies, or would you go back to music?
I would never do one thing.
Never do one thing?
I don't know what one thing means. I can never do one thing. Never gonna happen.
Now, you've got a very busy schedule. You said you're still traveling. How are you managing to balance all that, keeping family and everything together? I know it's you and your wife, but how do you keep that?
I mean, we've been doing this so long, it's part of our life. I think when you do something a long time, it's just automatic. You make sure you're home, you make sure you do things. When I come home, I know once I come home, like on Monday, we start getting to our routine being at home. It's almost like when you're a road animal, you have two lives. I had a road life, and I have a home life, and I had to learn to blend those. When I was young, sometimes the road life becomes more real than a home life because you're on the road so much.
Right. Looking at some other things that are happening in the world, we've got our first African-American president. What did that mean to you?
Well, for us, I didn't think I would see it in my lifetime. I didn't think, Barack was a whole different kind of person. I mean, I think it's a shame to say, but I think white America had to be comfortable. Because I think an inner city brother, they never got comfortable with. Because we talk a certain way. We talk with like Tiger, they didn't like that swagger. They wanted to beat the swagger out of him. It's not about him cheating. It's about the swagger that brother carried. So he knows, I think Barack has that ability to go back and forth between the two different ways of life. And I just knew a black president would catch hell. And he is catching hell. And no matter what he says, you got certain people going, you see the real side of America right now with a black president. You see it upset the apple cart.
Something we weren't expecting in our lifetime.
No, so what happens is, but it's good. He broke the mold for them now. Now for the next one, whether it be Spanish, Asian, the mold is broke and America realizes other people can come in.
Great. Couple of other things. As we look at new comedians that are trying to break into the business, what are some of the advice that you have for someone that's up and coming?
Well, we got an up and coming right here. She gonna step on stage. Right. I saw her at the beauty salon and she was just funny. Being a comic is no more than working hard, being persistent, and finding your voice and doing what you do best. If a person's naturally funny, they already have the fundamental key. All of us. The reason I'm a comic is somebody, you're crazy, I'll get on stage. At some point, you get on stage. Richard Pryor was in elementary school, and the teacher said, if you'll calm down, if I let you do 10 minutes in front of the class. And that's what he did. And that's how I got started.
Now, you know, you found her, you said I was talking to her actually, just met her coming in. She thought that I worked here, and she said, well, I'm opening for Sinbad. He came to my beauty salon today, and he heard me and said I could open for him. Now, do you do that everywhere that you go all over the city if you just happen to recognize some talent?
I've only done it twice. I mean, after Terry, I think I did it one time, maybe 15, 20 years ago. It's not that often you find somebody, she's got a lot of talent. You know, it's not that often you find somebody. I mean, when you got friends that know you crying, she had her friends crying, and that's people that see you every day, you know you got something special.
Well, you know, if you're in Los Angeles, California, out in Hollywood, and you were following the way things used to be back in the day, you go in swabs and sit there, and hopefully that you'd get discovered?
Somebody will see you.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
But we weren't in swabs, we were in
Signature's Hair Salon.
Signature's Hair Salon, and this is where Sinbad, we said he was just being cracked up because everybody in the salon was cracking up, and they were talking to Terry was doing her thing. So this is Terry Moore. She's a Louisville product, and she's going to actually open tonight for Sinbad. So Terry, welcome to Urban Lifestyle.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
So how did it feel when, you know, Sinbad's in there? I would think that would be a lot of pressure. I would be just like, if I was a comedian trying to get there, and here's one of the peers, one of the idols.
Tell me, you weren't a comedian.
Actually, I wasn't. This is my first time.
She was just funny.
This is my first time, and actually, it was just I was in my normal element.
Okay.
I was in my natural element, just cutting up, you know, making people laugh. That's what I do.
So when he said, all right, I want you to come and do a few lines tonight, you were just,
yes. That's what I said. I did.
She gave me they passed the hat at the salon. So they bought me off.
so have you always wanted to get on stage, or was it just like kidding around with your friends?
No, absolutely. It's always been a goal of mine to actually get on stage. Just had some other things going on at the moment, and no better time to seize the moment.
So now that you've gotten this break, is this something you're going to really pursue?
Absolutely. It's on now, as they say. The kids say it's on.